So Santa Barbara has a long history of oil in our Santa Barbara Channel, being the first offshore oil wells like we talked about. This is an example of one of the 20 or so rigs, platforms that sit out in our channel. You can see where the white ends, it would have been the water line. And what a lot of people don't realize is first how deep these things go, but also how many pipes are coming out of them. There's dozens that go off in all different directions to find oil. This is an example of the drill bits that were used to get those pipes in. And a lot of people don't realize whose family built these. They had the leases for them. They never sold them. They actually just leased them out to the oil companies. Howard Hughes' family, that's how they made their money, was by leasing drill bits to oil companies. We talk here about what it's like to work out on those oil platforms, and you actually are living out there for 7 days at a time. They're like little mini cities, and you have 4 meals a day there. They have gyms, they have laundromats. You are out there working pretty much 24/7 for 7 days. Santa Barbara is also unique in that these oil platforms in our channel were the first alternative use of an oil platform. The oil companies really didn't factor in that marine life would attach itself to the legs of the platforms. And so that caused a problem because they didn't engineer that extra weight and that extra mass. And so they would pay divers to go out and clean off the legs of the platform of that marine life. And then people realized that all this marine life, which was thriving on these platforms, some of it you could actually eat. And so they started harvesting mussels, and this is one of the first cans from the Santa Barbara Mussel Company that was actually harvested for human consumption. They also tried farming out there on the platforms, farming oysters and mussels. So these platforms were the first alternative use of an oil platform in the world. And today, all these platforms have 3 to 4 tons of marine life on them. And so here we talk about what to do with those platforms once we decommission them. Do you take them out completely, or do you leave them as a marine habitat, or do you do wind or wave energy out there and make a new use of them? So we talk a little bit about that there. And we also talk about all the different uses of an oil. So it is great to go to all electric cars, but less than half a barrel of oil is used for gasoline. We are also using it in our clothing, in our crayons, in our makeup, in our money. Even the chocolates that we consume have paraffin, some of them, which is an oil product. And of course, it also led to the modern environmental movement with the 1969 oil spill, a major tragedy, 80 to 100,000 barrels of oil, which got into our waters here in January of 1969. And what we like to talk about here is not necessarily the spill itself, but what it led to. The first Earth Day came out of this 69 oil spill 1 year later. The Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, the Marine Mammal Protection Act, the Endangered Species Act, the California Environmental Quality Act, and the National Environmental Policy Act, and the first Environmental Studies Program, which was right here at UC Santa Barbara. So while a major tragedy, it did lead to some great things.